Hey guys, welcome back to our old farmhouse. My name is Corey, and on tonight's vlog we are talking about the much anticipated beehive that took months to arrive, and it's finally here. Alright guys, right behind me is the beehive that we picked for our homestead, and I have to say, super excited about this experience, and I've been waiting a really long time to share this video with you guys. Unfortunately, when we placed the order back mid-April, it was only supposed to take 3 to 4 days for it to arrive to us, and it is now almost September, and it finally arrived on our doorstep last night. And I have to say, it was really a unique scenario, but super excited that it's here, even though I'm not 100% happy with the quality of it, and that it did receive some damage on the way here. But I did want to kind of rewind and go over the unique story that we had. So back in, like I said, beginning of April to mid-April, I was doing tons of research online trying to find a beehive that I thought would be best for our family, for our homestead. We've never raised bees before, brand new to it. We did not know really anything about it other than a little bit of information that I picked up on the internet. Now, if you are familiar with some of our other videos, the previous owners of our property, the husband who's passed away, he used to raise bees here, and he made honey, he made beeswax candles, and a couple of our other vlogs, we've gone up into the office area above our barn and shown off some of the workstation that still remains from when he was here. And that really sparked an interest in our kids to start learning more about keeping bees. So we spent that first week or two researching every kind of beehive known to man that we could purchase, and we were really looking for local sellers, so that way we could get started right away. As you guys, or most of you guys know, we got on our property kind of late spring, and if we were going to get bees, we needed to jump on it right away. And unfortunately, that did not work out for us. Again, we're now pushing September, and we just got the beehive. And really, like I said, it was a unique story because we came across 5 different sellers that we liked, and we did all kinds of research, read every review possible on these sellers, and we narrowed it down to 3 out of the 5, and 2 out of those 3, they did not have any beehives available. They were sold out at the time. And the seller that we ended up settling on, which was our second choice, had this model here in stock, and it is a flowhive design. And if you're not familiar with that, I strongly suggest you look it out. I know there's a lot of videos that say flowhive are not the best, but really from all the local beekeepers that I've talked to, they really recommended that, especially when first starting out. And especially being that we're on a fairly small homestead. I mean, we're just over 3 acres, and we didn't want to jump into something that was going to be way out of the scope of our understanding, and something that was too big and had too many moving parts for us to understand. So really the flowhive design was perfect for us. But again, I do have to say as a disclaimer, this is not a name brand flowhive. We did not have $800 to $900 to spend on a similar model. This model here originally retailed for $298 plus shipping, and the best, probably one of the best reasons why we picked the seller that we decided on was not only that they have it in stock, but 2, it was something that they could get to us in 4 to 5 days. So we jumped on it, we made the purchase, and we waited. And after about a week and a half of it not arriving, I contacted the seller and kind of explained what was going on, that we were still waiting for it. We actually had ordered a queen bee and a hive set up, and that was going to be arriving any day. And unfortunately, the seller got back to me and said that they had sold out, and they had to order a replacement from China, and that I would be waiting on that. So I kind of jumped on it as quickly as possible, canceled the queen bee with the hive starter kit that I ordered, canceled that, and we waited. And it really became a waiting game, and after about a month of it not arriving, I contacted the seller again, and I told him, you know, look, it's been a month, we'd just rather cancel our order at this point. It was too late to get bees. I mean, at that point we were kind of midsummer, and the seller got back with me and said, unfortunately, no, we cannot cancel the order. And again, another month passed. So April, May, June, it still had not arrived. I was contacting the seller a couple of times a week, telling him, you know, look, I want this canceled. And finally July and August rolled around, it still was not here. And that's when my credit union said, okay, you know, enough's enough, we're going to cancel the order. And they credited me back the amount that I had spent. Now in that meantime, the seller had gotten back with me and said that it was a direct ship from China to us and that it would take 14 days. And here it had been for 4 additional months, and it still hadn't arrived. But my credit union, and we have a great credit union where we are, and like I said, they credited back my account. And just the other day, it finally arrived, and lo and behold, to us, we'd already been refunded the money. And I'm kind of glad that we did, because I was fairly dissatisfied in what we purchased. The hive itself came in 1 million pieces. Some of the pieces were damaged. It had a ton of extra pieces with it, and there were no directions at all on how to put this thing together. So my son and I, we spent a few hours trying to fit pieces together. One of the interesting things was the hive design, the upper and the bottom brooder portions, they were constructed in a way where they would only fit together in one orientation. So that did help out a lot. But like I said, there was quite a bit of damage to it. There was supposed to be side windows on it. Both windows came broken. And to be completely honest, this was not the hive that we had ordered. In fact, this was a much cheaper version that they had listed online. So again, not really happy with that, but you know, it was free at this point, so we are going to give it a try. We did get it put together. We are not ordering bees because we are, like I said, now almost in September, and it is way too late in the season for them to even try to establish a hive. But we are putting it outside. We do have 2 beehives on our property. I was kind of hoping that maybe they would take it over. I don't know if that's good or bad, so if you do know, please leave it in the comments. But other than that, we are going to try to get this thing set up next spring. So I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. If you guys have any suggested videos or books or anything, any kind of resources, we'd love to hear it. And other than that, I'll do a quick walkthrough with you guys. Alright guys, on the back of our property here is where we decided to place the beehive, and as you can see, we've been emptying out some topsoil and some sod. We've been putting it back here, but we thought this would be the perfect spot. There's an old tree stump here. There was an old flower bed back here that the previous owners had years ago, and it's relatively, well, actually extremely close to our garden area. So we're hoping for tons of pollination of our plants out here. We planted flowers along, which you can't see, along the wood line here, and we really think that this would be the best spot possible for it. It's also kind of close to our compost pile, so that way we can keep an eye on it, but it's not too close where we're going to be running into any kind of issues, especially having the kids here. Now, as for the design itself, this was supposed to be a hinge system, and it is not, and honestly, it is very difficult to pull out. It was supposed to be able to drop down. This is just kind of the tongue and groove, and it's just stuck in there right now. It was a 7 comb hive, and we went ahead and we put 4 down in the bottom and 3 up top. Our plan is that we would harvest from the top 3 once we do get bees. And being the flow hive design, the keyhole is up here in the top portion, so pretty easy access in that regard. In the information that I read on this hive and with all the reviews, and like I said, this is not the same hive that we actually ordered. This one here is different, but in all the reviews on the one that I ordered, it said that it was extremely easy to access, that it was So easy that our children would be able to do it, and this is not the case with this one. In fact, looking at it, the roof here was supposed to be able to lean back and was supposed to have ropes on it to hold it from falling down. That was not the case. And I was really kind of surprised. It's kind of hard to see in here, so I'll see if I can lighten it up. But the netting in here is way smaller than what it should be. So the netting is part of the queen excluder, and I don't see how something that small would actually be able to work. So kind of concerned on that. I know for a fact that we will, if we do end up using this hive, we are going to order a separate queen excluder. We are not going to go through the same seller before. It was a complete nightmare, and they gave us the runaround forever. I'm, at least thankful that it did arrive, but like I said, with all the issues with it, if we had paid for this, I would certainly be shipping it back. There was supposed to be this removable door with a window in it, and as you can see, there's no window, and actually the groove that they cut for the window is on the wrong side. So if the glass window was here, we would not be able to remove this door without taking off the top and removing it from the inside. And then at the same time too, the two pieces of plexiglass that they did ship, like I said, both of them were broken, but I did tape one of them together. They were both the same exact size, and they wouldn't even fit into the groove here to begin with. So not exactly sure what was supposed to be going on with that. And then these doors here, they originally did not fit in either. I did have to go through and sand that down. So if you have the money and you have the resources, I would definitely recommend ordering a name brand flowhive. I've seen tons of them online. I've seen a couple of them in person, and everyone that I've spoke to has loved them. But like I said, the same hive as what this one is, it would have cost us almost $1,000 by the time we had shipping, and the ones that we were looking at were honestly all back ordered as well. So we went with what was available at the time. Would I repeat it? No, but I do think it is something that could work. The combs themselves, they do seem to be of pretty high quality. I was playing around with that. I opened and closed them a few times. Interesting enough, they all came open, so if you do ever order a flowhive system, make sure you look at that and make sure that they're all closed before you do put them in. Otherwise, you're going to run into issues. But again, like I said, you kind of get what you pay for, and what we went with was relatively cheap, even though it was expensive. And I'm just really glad that it did go through with a refund on the order. I did reach back out to the seller last night, because this actually didn't get dropped off to us until it was like almost 8 p.m. But I did reach out to the seller and I said, hey, this arrived. I'd be more than happy to ship it back to you. And that's when he said, well, unfortunately, we're not going to be carrying any beehive, or this particular beehive anymore. And at that point, they would just be shipping it back to China, and he didn't want to deal with that, and he said, go ahead and keep it. So I don't want anyone to think that I stole it or anything like that, but it is something that, like I said, I feel like they probably have had some negative experience with this particular model before. I did tell him what I noticed was wrong with it, and he didn't seem surprised at all. I do think it was something where they've tried this before, didn't have luck with, they discontinued selling it, and I think they just got into a pickle. They oversold. They were the only website that I could find that still had any available. I think they oversold, and then I think to try to fix their problem, they had this one shipped to me, knowing that it was something that didn't have really any kind of great experience in the past with. I did look on their website. It did say discontinued. I'm not going to post a link to their page. I do not recommend the people that we ordered from, and I'm not one to kind of be mean or a bummer in that area, but I'm not going to share resources that don't work out for us. But I'm certainly, unless they really wronged me, I'm not going to share a name of a business that I don't recommend. And for us, when I went on their website, I did find this beehive. It did say discontinued. It was a 0-star rating, and it had over I think it was close to 500. It was certainly over 450 sales on this unit. And it was a half a star rating overall from all the reviews that were left, and there was almost 100 reviews left. So I don't know, I tried looking this particular model up elsewhere and I wasn't able to find this specific one anywhere else. But again, you know, if you have the money, Flowhive I think is something interesting. It is something, the name brand one, I would like to look into more in the future when, you know, if we have the money in the future to spend on something like that. But we are super excited for the Beehive. Like I said, it's too late in the season right now. We're gonna leave it out. We have the 2 beehives, natural beehives out here. I was kind of wondering if they would take it over. Like I said, I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. So if you do have experience, please let us know if we shouldn't be doing that. But I was kind of hoping that they might. And, you know, we'll pack it up in the winter if it's not being used. And then we're going to try for spring. So fingers crossed. Again, if you guys have any resources you guys recommend, please share them with us. We'd love to know. We are brand new to this, and we will certainly keep you guys posted. I'll touch base with it on our vlogs when we're doing our chores. And other than that, you know, like I said, the more resources we have, the better. Amelia did say in our last video that she did set a challenge for subscribers, so she's hoping that we will reach 1,000 subscribers. And if that happens, we are celebrating by going to a water park. Right now we are just below 50 subscribers, so if you can, please help us support our channel, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Please share the video if this is something that you find interesting or you know someone that will find it interesting. And other than that, we'll see you guys next time. So have a good evening and keep homesteading.